So, Mark, welcome to the UAE and welcome to Jumeirah.
Thank you.
So, I believe there's a new sheriff in town, might be a very good phrase for this interview we're having today. You are the new general manager. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Thank you very much for the warm welcome. It's such a pleasure to be here in the UAE for the first time working, although I traveled for many years, over 20 years into the country, and always thought, love to work here. My career in the culinary side of things is where it all started, more than 38 years ago. So from Australia originally, into the UK, right through to Asia, over to Japan, and right through back into Malaysia and Thailand and Bali and Maldives. So I've experienced a lot of that side of the world, but it's been a huge journey. Gained a lot of life experience as well.
Can you tell us just briefly how you started in the industry and sort of the journey to where you are now?
Yeah, well, back in Australia, we were encouraged to find a career at a very young age. So as a student, you were at the age of 12 or 13, you were being asked, what's your interest? What would you plan to be in? So, and I was in a technical school. I had three choices. I chose to be a computer programmer, which probably I should have stayed, who knows, next Bill Gates, but culinary was one of them, and a draftsman. And I do love to draw. So I followed those passions, which to today I still have. And that got me into an apprenticeship program, which at the age of 15 and 3/4, I left school. And what the beauty about that was I'd found my passion, and a lot of my friends hadn't for years after, right? So by the time I was 19 and a half, I was qualified chef. I was able then to start thinking about what do I want to do next. And that took me around Australia and eventually into England. And I was able to, with high aspirations, knock on the door of some of the best hotels in the world, and started working at the Dorchester in London, and had the great pleasure and privilege to cook for the Queen of England and do state banquets and polo matches in Cirencester. And so then it just took off. So my culinary career came from the grassroots of Melbourne, washing dishes as an apprentice. So it's 4 years. It's not pretty, but it gives you that fundamentals of work ethic and skills.
Now, you've been in this position and in the UAE officially for about 6 months,
Yes.
but you're not new to the region.
No.
What drove you to take on this job?
Good question. I had spent extensive part of my career on the other side of the world. So I really saw the growth of Dubai from a distance over the last 20 years. The properties, the restaurants, the whole vibe of the city is so exciting. So it's more than just running a simple hotel with some restaurants. You're competing in a huge marketplace that has two main focuses, especially from a hotelier point of view, which really excited me. It was the in-house guest that you're attracting to stay with you. And then you've got your regional social connection, which is inside the UAE, specifically in Dubai. So you've got to that melting pot of using your skills in the hospitality to attract those two types of guests. That really attracted me as well. And specifically about Jumeirah, working for Jumeirah had been on the list because of the way that it was a homegrown brand. It was connected to the region and to the country. It's well loved.
I love the fact that you said you and your wife, based on visiting the region, had seen sort of the then and now.
Oh, yeah, what a change.
And now that you're here, I mean, I don't know how long it's been since you've come on board for this role, but what do you think of what's happening here now?
When we first came and I proposed to my wife in the sand dunes, and we said to each other, would we work here? We said, well, I don't know. I mean, there's a strip of a few hotels in the day, and it was under construction, and the dream was there. And to see how fast it's come, it's incredible. And it attracts high quality operators, restaurateurs, creative people doing experiences in the water, above, in the sky. And it's always about what's next, right?
You mentioned Jumeirah briefly before, where you said, this is a homegrown brand, it's a lot more niche. What does this brand represent for you now that you're a part of it?
Now I'm on the inside. What I love about the the way that we run our business. We speak about the heart of Jumeirah and the spirit of Jumeirah. And the spirit of Jumeirah really connects to the things that matter most to you and I as people, and connecting to other people. And that's the business we're in, around generosity. It celebrates diversity. It ensures that everyone feels welcome. This connects to what the country is about as well. There's a lot of discussion around uncompromising spirit, about trying to achieve great things. Again, related to what the country is about. That's what we do in Jumeirah as well. So when you look at the brand and its values, for me, I always taught when I was young as a child about values and authenticity and respect. And so I connect on that level.
What does your day sort of look like, or what has your day been looking like for the last 6 months?
Yeah, well, good you asked. So it comes through in layers. So as we were taking on the role, there's a lot of conversation around with ownership, about vision, where we're taking the property, the leadership of Jumeirah in the same aspects. And then we had to come in with a plan to take us through what the next 3 to 4 years would look like. So through those 3 to 4 years, there's stages that we need to go through, and we carefully plan them out. And I've been down this road before in my previous properties I've worked with. So my day had been, in the first few months, the morning meeting, understand the flow of today's business, walk the floor, go down to the laundry, walk through the kitchens, and understand and smell and feel the building. And then through the day, you're going to explore the lobby. And in the evening as well, at 6, 7 o'clock, I always go through the lobby to ensure that how the day is going, how many more guests are arriving, and just get a feel for the flow of the day and see if there's any red flags or concerns we have. Is there customers I should be meeting? My former life, I would meet every single guest that arrived in the property, but it was much smaller. I found I couldn't do that. So we've moved the new club lounge, which we'll speak about, into a new venue where I can speak and get closer to our guests as well. So that's a very important part of what I do.
Let's talk about Jumeirah's guest experience and personalization. Now, the group has already had very strong approach to experience and personalization, but I understand that you have a strategy to enhance this even further.
Definitely. I think it goes back to understanding the Jumeirah Zabeel Saray's specific customer base and what they want out of their holiday, and then how can we tailor make those experiences to connect to why they've chosen us. So when it comes to wellness or well-being, we've all gone through COVID, where we've maybe had another look at our lives and our well-being. We find that there's an opportunity for guests to be more connected to our spa experience, starting with morning yoga, and then personalizing that. If people want to bring that further, we've got coaches here that will be able to connect you further to that experience, right through to the culinary and nutrition elements to it. I think that there's a lot of that opportunity, which you're going to see us rolling out more of those elements. From the culinary side of things, we've got our dining by design elements around private dining, but also taking you to a garden, which we'll show you with Arcadia.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, a lot of exciting changes coming to this property, and I know that some of them have already been implemented. Can you tell us a little bit about what you can say?
Yes. I think it's an evolution, as I said earlier, and it's getting us into a place, these changes I like to say evolution rather than change, because I think that involving it shows more respect, because we are here in this beautiful room today, which is our grill restaurant. That's a Japanese-influenced restaurant which has a izakaya-style dining, which is a sharing, more informal style with beautiful jazz music in the evenings. And that vibe and feeling of warmth and hospitality is about, and the generosity elements of what Jumeirah is connected to. When I studied what Jumeirah wanted to do and looked at this building, we have just opened up our new club lounge.
Mark, can you tell us where we are right now?
Welcome to the Club Lounge. It's been a few weeks since we've opened. We've brought in this offering because we really wanted our Club Lounge guests to feel this warmth, genuine hospitality that we offer here at Jumeirah, and we just felt the previous offering didn't have everything for the family. Equally, our business centre offering was here as well. So now our guests have a dedicated lounge, a beautiful dining, outdoor terrace, to really enjoy a great bar, which we'll explain a bit more in a moment, but also for the kids. So we've got a great kids play area there, which has got lots of innovations and creative elements there for them to enjoy. And then the club lounge offering then really works from breakfast through the afternoon tea and the evening snacks and drinks. Got a great bar, as I said, where we'll be also expanding on wine experiences and bringing in winemakers and doing special events. Again, we made a master plan of restaurants to develop, but in the lobby itself, the first experience you see when you arrive is something that we really wanted to transform you again. So that was moving the center bar away so you could see the water, because I imagine that you've flown in from the UK or Europe and you wanted to see the beach, and if you arrive and you didn't see it, you'd be looking, where is it? So we're bringing that to you with a view. We're equally though saying we're in this Ottoman inspired palace with this amazing Turkish connection. So we've got a beautiful Turkish inspired cafe on the left hand side, which is expanding more into all the delicacies, including the gentleman with the ice cream, and all of the experiences is very rich and connecting. And on the other side, we're bringing the beverage and the cigars and the smoking element to our little speakeasy bar, which we'll launch as well. So as we walk through these old Indian doors from an old shop house, we've hand-picked all of these elements to really connect to nature and bring that earthiness feeling into the property. And I didn't want to overdo it. I wanted to keep it natural and real. Here you're going to have shared table experiences where we've got a guest chef and a winemaker dinner type of approach. You've got this private element where you and your family would take this beautiful celebrative dinner. We've got menus planned for that as well. All of the menus the food experience is connected to the hydroponic farm. So everything growing in there is served on a table, so farm to table approach. Equally, we've got organic herbs and other elements to connect with that. And then with the fish, organic farm, local fish, we've got other elements to connect again to those experiences. And the last part of this whole dining experience is the cooking school. So you're able to, just like in a country farmhouse, get those vegetables and fish or meats and have a cooking class around some of our best restaurants. You'll be able to learn the Indian dish that you really like in Amala. You'll be able to have a Turkish experience. You could have a Middle Eastern experience. So those things are really important to us to sort of have them come out and play that out here.
And I wanted to know from your perspective, coming onto the property and seeing something like this, what did you think about it from a sustainability point of view?
I think we should have the whole car park full of them. I believe if we've got the technology now, all it takes is the effort and the planning, that we should be doing it and expanding it to a higher percentage. I love that story, but I also love the reality of that. It's connected to our next experience around water. We're also bottling our own water here soon. I think that's a very big play on the plastic situation in around the world. I believe a lot in recycling, and this particular project is a great example to what we can do. But it's the start, of more to come.
Can you tell us more about the organic store?
We've got a number of stores throughout this promenade. When I look at the guest experience again, and you're here for 10 plus nights, you don't always want to eat in a restaurant. So we thought we'd offer a healthier choice, something grab and go, something to snack on that's got that healthier side of things. So that's where the organic food store came about. And for me, it just made logical sense.
What are your aspirations for yourself in this role?
I see my work here in the Jumeirah Zabeel Saray is to bring that back to its grandest place in the region, now known as one of the finest hotels in this region for what Jumeirah Zabeel Saray really represents, is this palace on a beach. But I want to make sure that it's got this beach experience, and it's got a feeling that it's connected, that it's not too removed from what it is. So that's why I was saying about how we're opening up and lightening out the rooms, and we're doing that with uniforms to make them less formal, connect more in a resort way. So I think that's really important, to connect globally with our customer, to bring them in. Every hotelier wants to do that, but also to ensure that the local community embraces what we are doing too, and keep that going as well. So that social connection, I'm really excited about doing some social elements here that talk of the town, and there are surprises that are going to get spoken about soon. So.
Mark, I want to chat with you about being a chef. Now, some general managers might not have that type of experience in their belt. What kind of edge do you think that gives you as a GM?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking. I think earlier in my career, as I transitioned out of culinary, I obviously going into a place that you weren't familiar with, there was a bit of hesitation. Firstly, I asked my vice president at the time, "Don't you like my cooking?" But then he reassured me and he gave me the reasons why, and it was around my vision and ability to connect to people and the ability to see things that others hadn't seen. And then through that, the operational know-how. So then as my career has developed, I stayed away from the chef a bit because I thought I don't want to get into his space, but then I learned more about what the customer wanted, and a conversation with the chef was a bit easier because it was more about the product and the connect, and I had technical knowledge to be able to ask those questions. But equally, I was able to walk into the laundry, I was able to go into engineering and have technical questions about where they're at and whether it's a budget or a resource around people. So being in the culinary side gave me the insights to the operation. But more importantly, when you bring it to the commercial side of things or running an operation, as a chef and an executive chef would run multiple restaurants with hundreds of chefs and have to do those at the same time. So you're juggling a lot of balls. You're constantly working on projects. You're constantly developed. It never ends. So running a hotel as a general manager, it's a very similar skill set.
And my final question to you, Mark, is what does the future of hospitality look like for you?
I love the ability to connect up experiences for guests. I like to see those results as guests have experienced them and shared them. I equally love to see people I work with grow and develop either their career or their product and services and whatnot. We're looking at the Canary, which is a beautiful cocktail named in the honor of the shape of the glass. But also the drink itself is something very special, which really represents this room we're sitting in now, the grill. And it's a Japanese influenced cocktail, which is really the way that the dinner should start. So you've got a Japanese sake and a beautiful Japanese gin from Roku. And with that, elderflower just gives the fragrance and the flavors, really nice, subtle, shaken over ice and poured in. And then the unique way to drink this is through the straw from the tail. So that's something we must experience as well.
Now, how much involvement did you have particularly in this drink?
A lot. You know, a lot of times I want to drill into the details and ensure that our team really embrace where we're going with something. So as a helicopter would land, I drilled in and said, okay, this is the glass I want. We bought it out from America. It wasn't available in the local market. I wanted the color of the drink to match into the environment we have with the cherry blossom feeling. So I was very specific about the color. I said I wanted it to have a Japanese twist. So we obviously went down the sake route. So it really gave those details so that the experience was as authentic as I thought it could be to connect out to this whole room and experience.
That's fantastic. So when guests walk into this location and they have this drink, they need to know that their general manager had a lot to do with this.
Definitely. And I think that signifies a lot of what we're doing in this property moving forward too.
Okay, shall we take a taste?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's nice and refreshing.
Very good. We might have to come back and have more.
I might have to finish that. Well, thank you so much, Mark. We are very excited to see you here, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.